Yo, guys, Mark Zuckerberg is shook right now, dude. And I feel like these social media giants started getting scared when it was clear that Trump was going to win the election. And I think we saw headlines. They were trying to meet, they were trying to apologize. Dude, this is hilarious, man. Meta executive admits company overdid it with COVID censorship. Sometimes we over-enforce. Really, do you? The Meta executive added that founder Mark Zuckerberg wants to help Donald Trump shape his tech policy. Meta's president of global affairs said the social media company went overboard with its moderation of COVID-19 related content on its platforms. You mean like when you said ivermectin was horse paste? And when you said that it wasn't legitimate to claim that it was approved for human use? Or when you claimed that it was a veterinary medication, or when you claimed that there was no natural herd immunity and that people had to get vaccinated to establish herd immunity, or when you claimed that lockdowns and staying at home slowed the spread and gatherings were dangerous unless it was for Black Lives Matter and protesting LGBTQ and woke policies. In that instance, gatherings actually slowed the spread. I wonder why people feel like you might have over-censored. Nick Clegg spoke to media members and claimed Meta founder Mark Zuckerberg hoped to have a say in President-elect Donald Trump's upcoming tech and social media policy. I hope not. We've got enough billionaires involved with social media in this new administration. I don't think we need any Mark Zuckerberg or anyone with your kind of history. I don't trust this guy. According to the Financial Times, Clegg said that Zuckerberg wants to play an active role in the debates that any administration needs to have about maintaining America's leadership in the technological sphere. I don't want him involved in those debates at all. How about he can be involved in those debates if he tapes his mouth shut and then someone writes on that tape, "I'm an idiot." How about that? Sometimes we over-enforce and we make mistakes. Really. Clegg also claimed that American leadership in tech is tremendously important given all the geostrategic uncertainties around the world and particularly the pivotal role that AI will play in these algorithms and the management of foreign intelligence campaigns and foreign social influence campaigns. Yeah, that's exactly the leverage that these billionaires are using to gain control of the cultural zeitgeist. The fact that social media is such a staging ground for foreign entities from all over the world, including US abroad, to try to manipulate people's perspectives and push a certain narrative. We're acutely aware. The Meta representative reportedly told media members that Meta officials are acutely aware that the company's moderation policies are sometimes excessive. Really? Dude, I have been shadow banned on Facebook this entire time. I can't promote anything relating to freedom, relating to considering classical liberalism over neoliberalism, anything regarding those ideals is completely shadow banned. And right now they're just talking about overt censorship. They're not even addressing the shadow ban issue where they're trying to make an unfair playing field for people who have opinions they don't agree with. We're acutely aware because users quite rightly raised their voice and complained about this, that we sometimes over-enforce, we make mistakes, and we remove or restrict innocuous or innocent content. Yeah, you do all the time. And you have made no effort to change. Mark Zuckerberg, months ago, came out and said he was no longer going to start censoring the election, etc., but yet he continued doing it. These people lie over and over and over again. And I'm supposed to believe this? Still, Clegg reiterated that his boss wants an ongoing focus on improving the precision and accuracy of Meta's rule enforcement. Zuckerberg had a dinner with Trump on his Florida golf club at Mar-a-Lago the day before Thanksgiving, with Trump's staff members revealing that the tech entrepreneur allegedly intends to support the renewal of the country. By support the renewal of the country, he means keep the door cracked open so that him and his corporatist neoliberal compadres can sneak their way back in. Are you joking? Dude, hell no. This dude needs get out, bro. Get out. In fact, why don't you just move out of Hawaii? Why don't you pack it up and move out of Hawaii? Bro, I saw interviews with people in Hawaii outside of Mark Zuckerberg's mansion complex, And they were like, dude, just wait. Just wait till there's social collapse, man. We are going after this dude and we are taking everything he owns. Bro, I am so excited for stuff like that, dude. Screw that. If there is ever a social collapse, these people need to be the targets, bro. Mark obviously has his own interests and his own company, and he has his own agenda, Trump's Deputy Chief of Staff, Stephen Miller, explained. But he's made it clear that he wants to support the national renewal of America under Trump's leadership. A lie. A lie. What he means by that is he wants to have a say in how that plays out and what that looks like afterwards. And I don't trust this guy with having a say in that. A Meta spokesperson told CBS News after the fact that Zuckerberg was grateful for the invitation to join President Trump for dinner and the opportunity to meet with members of his team about the incoming administration. The admittance of wrongdoing from Meta marks the second instance of this nature in recent months, with no change. With no change to policy or enforcement at all. So he can talk and have lip service all day, but at the end of the day, I don't believe this guy, and I don't want these corporate Borg members to continue having a say in how our culture evolves. In August, Zuckerberg sent a highly publicized letter to the House Judiciary Committee Chairman Rep. Jim Jordan explaining Meta was pressured to censor content by Joe Biden's administration illegally. Why didn't you come out and say something? Why didn't you blow the whistle? They're not allowed to do that. They are not allowed to request censorship. Our federal government is not allowed to be involved in what narratives are promoted on our media. That is very clear in our Constitution. Zuckerberg said senior officials from the Biden-Harris administration repeatedly pressured our teams for months to censor certain COVID-19 content, including humor and satire, and expressed frustration with our teams when we didn't agree. Bro, I have seen the backroom correspondence between these two bodies and internal correspondence between HR departments from these social medias when they're talking to other executives, and I have never seen them act like they are nervous or disappointed or don't want to be involved with the federal government. Every single time I see these communications between social media and big tech, it's all how can we facilitate? How how can we create a new portal for governments to streamline their censorship requests? This whole idea that the private sector has been forced by government to do this against their will, I don't buy that at all. I don't buy that for a second. This whole thing has been working together. Government and big tech has been working together this entire time. It's one giant cabal. You can tell because when Trump won the first time, what was the reaction from the media? It was continued censorship. It was continued promoting the hate of Trump and his policies and his agenda, misrepresenting him every time, pretending like he's some sort of white supremacist or racist or fascist. We know how much it was promoted all over the media, the lies about what he said in Charlottesville. The entire 4 years that he was in office and social media was fighting the federal government. The federal government was trying to end the censorship and suppress the censorship of narratives at that time. And social media was fighting them tooth and nail. And now we're supposed to believe, all of a sudden it's switched. The media and the government worked together throughout 16 to 2020 to try to manipulate and change the cultural zeitgeist, in their words, to make it impossible for 2016 to ever happen again. And we're supposed to believe that Zuckerberg was doing it at the behest of the federal government and it was against his will? Are you serious? Dude, that doesn't even make any sense, man. That narrative is so broken. That narrative requires us to forget the entire 9 years of history and gaslighting that they've been trying to shove up our butts this entire time, bro. I refuse to forget it. I refuse to let it go. Something needs to be done. We need to end Section 230, okay? And we need to have platforms not be held responsible for the speech that is being said on the platform. Individuals are responsible for their own speech. Like Keir Starmer in the UK, right? When someone makes a post on Twitter, he goes to their house. He doesn't go to Twitter. You get what I'm saying? So let's follow free speech laws in the US. Let's follow legal free speech laws in the US. And if someone violates free speech laws, if someone crosses the line beyond free speech and starts inciting violence or making overt threats, then you can approach them. We've already got the FBI going and approaching people every time they make a sarcastic joke. Dude, are you kidding me? This is not an impossible task to do. You're pretending it's impossible because you want to manipulate the culture surrounding this issue so that way you can promote the narrative of censoring your opposition rather than actually having a nuanced dialogue and approaching a conversation on its merits, okay? That's what they're doing, man. And that's what Mark Zuckerberg is trying to secure by entering the fray and trying to be involved with these new policy changes that are going on. The neoliberals, right? The same ones we talked about yesterday retreating to California, they right now are reeling back and trying to figure out how they can plant seeds, like they did in the inception of this country with the Federalist Papers, to start the process of reinstituting class systems or protecting the class systems that they have in place to prevent class mobility now, right? And that involves preventing speech, so that way you can continue to divide people by controlling narratives. That involves making it difficult for people to start their own business and make their own money. Guys, we've talked about a couple of these things before, man, but this is what they do, man. They play nice. They play nice when it's time to retreat and try to save some sort of stronghold, right? Because they don't want to get attacked anymore. And they know that they're on their heels and they're trying to reverse that situation using the narratives in the media, dude. So don't buy it. Don't believe it. Dude, I don't want Zuckerberg involved, man. We got enough billionaires in social media involved in our new administration. Zuckerberg can stuff it, dude. Go kick rocks, man. All right, I'll see you guys in the next one.